Howdy, happy campers, JT here, and it's a fine day out here in good old Oklahoma. Well, after the 65 some reported tornadoes and touched down last night in Oklahoma, I thought I'd go ahead and make this video before the next batch of storms comes in, because we do have some more heavy storms coming in. This is, of course, the inverter and engine cooling changes some of you have been waiting for, and you'll see exactly just how easy it is. But before we get started, I want to showcase my commander-in-chief, my loving wife's good interior design skills. I mean, it's just wonderful. This is built into the wall. She made it in there. It's nice. And what more can I say? She's just fantastic. And so getting back to the inverter and engine cooling change, you decide just how easy it is, because it is as easy as you make it. Now, I'm going to show you some tips and go over a few things with you. And you can see from the video itself just exactly what I go through and what you might go through. Whether you want to jack it up on jack stands, on the ramps, or even put on the lift. I decided to do it with it just on the ground, because not a lot of you is going to have access to a lift like I might have at Tinker Air Force Base, where I can use the auto shop car lift, because I wanted to show you what I'm doing on my back as I changed the fluids. All right, so enough jibber jabber. That's about it. You decide whether you want to change it at 65,000 miles, 70,000 miles, or the recommended in the booklet 100,000, 120,000 miles. It is your vehicle. I am not going to wait until that mark. I'm going to change it halfway. It's not expensive. It's not hard. In fact, enough jibber jabber, let's get right to it. Happy campers, as always, I'm just here to share and give you some tips, what I do and have done, and share it with you. And some of you might have different techniques. Either way, if you don't have a little creeper like this, that's fine. Just put a cardboard, piece of wood, something on there to protect your back. But if you don't like, and you just wear these dirty coveralls, that's just fine. Whatever makes you happy. All right, to get under there. As you can see, I've got it elevated on the ramp when we do this inverter and coolant change. Now, the tip for you is this. You either want to do it before, because I don't recommend doing it while you're under there and start the project. Why? Because you have to get these on both sides off to take that cover, the front cover. Of course, it's going to be hard using these tools here. So the tip is, before you put on the ramp or on the lift, turn the wheel, get in the car, turn it on, turn the wheel, so that you have room to either use your power tools, whatever it might be, okay, or to loosen that, or just get either one, box end, open end, even small adjustable pliers, 10 millimeter right here, little Harbor Freight special. So that's what you want to do, get it loosened up before you actually start taking it off. All right, so that's one tip right there. All right, happy campers, and of course what you like to do is, to make it easier, is open up your reservoirs here. This is the engine coolant reservoir right here, and this is the inverter coolant reservoir right there. Okay, so again, the engine coolant and the inverter coolant reservoir. There you go. Look at that. See how easy that was that came off? This is the room you have to play with or work on. So you have plenty of room still. The average person, again, even if you can't get under here fully, don't worry. You could just slide from here and still work. All right? So work from here. I've got it marked so it's easy for you to identify. As you can see right there, there's one there and a bolt here. If you feel around here, you can feel where the drain cock is. So this is the underneath where you could just take off the front cover and change your inverter coolant and your engine coolant. It is. I'm going to show you that in the next section of the video, how easy it is to do and save you some money. Okay, so here it is. Just to give you all an idea, this is the inverter coolant drain plug cock right here. It's right in the middle of the engine. You can see I took this off, didn't want to waste your time. You can use a 3/8 inch diameter hose so you can direct the fluid and not make a mess if you want to. If not, it doesn't matter. It goes right on there directly and it's going to be caught. Of course, you're going to have some here coming out. That's normal. If you want it faster, of course, you could take the plug off completely. But again, I want to catch it little by little so I have an idea how much is in that coolant. So we'll let that drip for now. Keep that going. There's no big rush. We'll let it drain until it's gone and we'll come back to it. As you can see here, that's the yellow colored drain cock that will drain the engine coolant from the radiator. Real easy, turn it counterclockwise, you can't mistake it. Drain the fluid. I drained it very slowly. I did not take it off completely because again I wanted to catch as much of the fluid as possible just to give me an idea how much coolant I took out of there. And that's all. No more, no less. That is, so let's go ahead and plug it up and fill her up and that'll be it. Put it back in there. You know, just hand tight. This will have to be torqued down. And there you go. You can see there, finishing up my oil change right here. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and fill up with inverter coolant. And again, we took out a quart and 14 ounces, but again, you don't have to be exact on it because all you really want to do is fill it up to the fill line and then watch both of them. There's the fill line down there and you can see. Keep an eye on the mark. Up to the full line and stop right there. Because again, we have to bleed it and watch it, the coolant and the inverter coolant. We'll go here now and fill this side up. And right here, of course, is the full and the low mark. Alright, so you're going to fill up all the way to the full. Same thing as we did the other one. Don't need this, let's take that off. This is, of course, 1 gallon of coolant. Same liquid used both, the inverter and the engine coolant. Fill up to the full mark. I don't really know how much I'll need to put it in here. Basically, before we get it started, let me give you some tips here, just like I got from AMD, the car care nut. Alright, you want to fill this up, especially this inverter coolant, a little above full. And the reason for that is because once it starts, according to him, it's going to start sucking that fluid down. Alright, so you want a little bit above full. And then keep an eye on it as it goes down. As you can see the level there, as it goes down, you fill it up because you don't want the pump, all right, running dry. And it's going to be loud, so I'm going to tell you now. Once it's here and it's going into the maintenance mode, I don't know exactly how long it'll take. We'll have to wait and see, and I'll get an idea on that. But the thing is this, the radiator fan will come on twice. It should come on twice. Come on, turn off. All right? And then whenever it will do it again, turn back on, turn back off. You want to do that twice. Again, this is according to AMD, the car care not. So it'll come on twice, and then you can stop. What you don't on here, make sure this both are at full level. So that's about it. Again, we're going to put on maintenance mode, run out here, keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't go down too fast, and keep it filled up. Put in maintenance mode, check everything, double check everything, make sure it's closed and all that. I got my cheat sheet here because I'm not going to remember all that to put in maintenance mode. Press the power button twice, 1, 2, and then press the gas twice, 1, 2, and then press and hold the brake and put in neutral. And there it is in neutral. And then holding the brake pedal down, pump the gas pedal twice, 1, 2, put it into park, press the gas twice, 1, 2, then press the power button. And there it is, you heard it come on. So let's go out there and check it out. Okay, and as you notice, it went down right away. Okay, so let's fill that up. Alrighty, keeping an eye on the inverter, still fine. Alright, checking for leaks. Everything looks good. Don't see any leaks so far. Unfortunately, they say the best laid plans of mice and men, it didn't go right. No excuses there. It is what it is. I didn't get a chance to show you how you fill it up as the fan comes on, turn off, come on, turn off. You know, but once everything is done, you just make sure that it's at the good level where it's supposed to be, both of them, and then you're done. So really nothing that hard. The location of those drain plugs, again, is right close to here. I got it marked. There's the yellow drain plug for the engine coolant, and this is the drain plug for the inverter coolant. It's right here. If you look at the frame right here, it's in the, see the middle hole, you'll see it on your bottom. It's right beside it, so it's that far directly behind. All right, so that's the location of it. Now let's put it back together. Pretty easy. Again, this is for those people who don't have a lift or can't get to a lift and has to do it this way. Not hard. Just take your time, line up everything here, make sure it's good. Just like that. Okay, get it started first, and then what you're gonna do is, of course, make sure these are in on the bottom. It goes in just like that. It goes over. So slide it in like this at an angle, and then put it like that. And it's that easy. Now you can put 1 or 2 bolts in place. All right, that way you get it started, hold it in place. Let's get one of these right here. And get that started in there. You don't have to tighten it all the way yet until you get it settled in. right, that'll hold it in place. And let's get these started. Don't tighten it yet until you get everything in place, and in case you have to make some minor adjustments. Like that. Let's get our screws here. Pretty easy. Right, getting those started, which is good. Right here. And okay, not yet. Very good. Okay, because you want to get all lined up first before you start cranking it down. And of course, here we are off on a test drive to check the inverter coolant and engine coolant level. Check for any leaks, any weird noises. No weird noises, no odd sounds, no weird driving. It drives just like first day she came off the trailer. Turn on the AC just to check, make sure there's nothing else odd going on. No emergency lights, nothing like that. Seems to be cooling fine. Put on max. Put some load on the engine and the inverter. Well, that's about it, happy campers. What more can I say? I don't want to prolong the video for 2 hours just to talk and talk and talk. Other than that, I'm not here to ask for any subscribers or, hit the like button or whatever. I'm just here to share what I've experienced. Hopefully you get something out of it. Other than that, thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and God bless. The other thing you could have done is fill it up more, and let it drain down completely, kind of like a flush. But again, it's changing it halfway through the 120,000 mile mark. So leaving the old stuff in there is not going to hurt it in any way. Okay, we're going to replace all the filters, the air filter, cabin air filter, the hybrid air filter. Here's the old one here. Still looks pretty good. And here's the new one. Yeah, probably doesn't need to be changed, but it is what it is. Make sure there's no leaves in there. And of course, while I'm under here waiting for the fluid to completely drain, I'm going to go ahead and work the 303 protectant on here. Nice and lubed all the rubber parts. Just to show you here, after 3 years, that's what my CableGate looks like. Still in pretty good condition. Well, not bad. Just FYI, originally at first, 2021, I started putting this electrical high voltage tape. My objective was to cover it all up because I keep hearing it's bad, that it turns bad after a while. But overall, really, still pretty good. As you can see, I only did it halfway because I wanted to see this main part, whether it's going to corrode or not. So no problem there, so I'll just leave it be. And I'm not going to continue with the taping, but you might want to keep that as an idea. So, let me continue on here. Look, all the good parts that's needed. Right there, joints. Nice and soaked, nice and wet. All the electrical components. And this 303 protectant is not going to damage anything if you overspray it. All right, just so you know. Showing you this, okay, because again, some of you might not have the luxury of getting a lift or putting it up on the lift. You might just have jack stands, or here are ramps. I use ramps because it's easier to drive on and off. And again, they're pretty sturdy. I've used these for years. You know, same brand, hadn't had any failure. Some people might say you need to put jack stands under there. Again, it's your choice. Safety first. You decide what your level of comfort is. That's all I'm going to say about it. So when you get under here, you still have plenty of room to work under, because the drain plug is right here, and I'll show you that in a minute. As you can see, again, I got it color coded. This is for the screws. Of course, the bolts are here. You don't have to use the paint if you don't want to. Again, just write on a marker here if you don't want to get your underside dirty. Bolts, screws right here on the side. Of course, these are the push pin type of screw. This is the screw type pin. I'll show you in a minute here. Same here. And then these are the ones that's a push pin. There's 4 of those right here. And I'll show you the difference here. Alright, so there it is. So to give you an idea, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws on the front here. Not to mention the one on the side. Alright. And then you got screw pin here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 push type pins, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I missed one right here at the end. Again, your screw type. So that's what you're dealing with to take this whole cover off, because you have to take this off and this off to get to the drain plug. It's that simple. And of course the front right here. All right, let's get to it. Campers, here we are. Let's get to it and let's see what you can do, can't do, and we can learn from my experience here. Typical garage here. I don't know about other vehicles, but for the Prime, this is what we're going to do to change the fluid. All I'm going to show you in this portion of the video is, of course, whether you can access it or not, how hard it is to take it on and off, and whether you have enough room to do your project. It's that simple. Screws here. You don't have to do this, but it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. Alright, that's where I put it there. And we go to the other side. Same thing. Of course, the easiest thing is take these off first, so you don't run into a problem. And you can even time it to see how fast it is, or how easy it is while I'm talking. Again, take off the outside first, and we're done with that part. And let's get underneath. And we're going to try to, just so you know, here's the tools I'm using here. And let's see if we can get to it. Bolts and screws right here. I'm going to show underneath when I put it on the lift in auto shop. Take it out first. Just like that. There's 2 on each side. One right here. Okay. Then of course, right underneath here, right there for now. There's the bolt right there at the end. Alright, that loosens that up. Let's put this aside for right now, so we don't lose that. Try to keep it organized. Okay, now that you got the outside bolts loosened, you want to loosen the bolts right here that's holding this in place. you're going to have one right here and one right here. Okay, and of course inside here. And it's marked, I'll show you underneath, marked as bolts. So let's get to it. Okay. There's bolts there. Oops. But it scratched my car. Gotta be careful here. Yeah, it's a little tight, but you can still get to it with no problem. Alright, get those bolts in place. Alright, so now this come off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the corners here. Make sure there's nothing in the corners because you'll have a harder time. Everything's loose there, so let's start with that side. Just like that, and it's not gonna go in place. That's why it's not gonna fall down on you because it's still held up in place by the simple location of where it's at, so don't worry about that. Alright, let's put that in there. As you notice, I got a bolt so I know where it's going to be. And if you make a mistake and put the wrong one, don't worry. Not the end of the world. I'll pop the hood so you can see the light when it comes out. Alright, so I think we're ready. Push it out. And see, oh, I forgot a bolt. See, right here. There you go. That's out of the way, and look at that. See how easy that was that came off? Put that aside for right now. Put my bolts there, or screws anyway. And I know you can see it right here. Check it out underneath. So you don't have to take this middle part directly underneath. It's a big case. I'm sure you've seen it in my videos, and if you've been under here, it's a big cover that covers, of course, the tranny, the engine, the oil pan, and everything like that. So let me show you here. It's marked, as you can see, I've already marked it for easy identification for y'all. Just directly over, here is the inverter coolant drain. And of course, right here, see the P, is the plug. And I'll show you right there. Okay? This is where it's at. So you can access it, and you can see, hopefully anyway, if you can see me over there, this is the room you have to play with or work on. So you have plenty of room still. The average person, again, even if you can't get under here fully, don't worry. You could just slide from here and still work. All right? So work from here. I've got it marked so it's easy for you to identify. As you can see right there, there's one there and the bolt here. If you feel around here, you can feel where the drain cock is. So this is the underneath where you could just take off the front cover and change your inverter coolant and your engine coolant. It is. I'm going to show you that in the next section of the video, how easy it is to do and save you some money. Okay, that's it for right now, happy campers. If you want to see, in fact, let me put it together so you can see just how easy it is to put it back on. So again, like you don't need any of these fancy tools. Okay, this will do, or even this, or even a flathead screwdriver. And of course you need a Phillips. So just to show you what I mean here, we're going to take out those push pins and those screw pins, like right here. Real easy. And after all is said and done, let's say for example you don't mark it, or you get lost, or you're not sure which screws go where. Don't worry, it's not the end of the world. All right, either way, any push pins just like this will do just fine. So don't worry and don't stress out. Put it in there, take it off. You know, you can replace it. So again, it's no big deal. Just like that, comes up. And there. There you go. And then of course when you get to here, you could use on here, you could use a flathead screwdriver just like this. There's a notch, you will see that real easy. On both sides it's squared off. You just get under there, just like that, pull it up. And you can even pull it up with your fingers like this. So that's why you don't even need it. But you know, some people get fancy. I've used this for trimming in the inside of the cars. You know, you could just put it on there, on the hair like that, and take it out. Alright, again, it's to make your job easy. That's all it is. Alright, as you can see, it's going to start to come down. What I could do is just leave this in one bolt at the end, one here, until I'm ready to take off the rest. So let me take this off, just like that. All right. So I got this left, and I got nothing else left here to hold it except this. So this is fine. All right, it's holding that. So let me go ahead and take this off, because this and this is going to hold this part front up first. Taking this off. Okay. As you can see, it's starting to slide down. You can just rest it on here and on here. See, it's not going to go anywhere, all right? Until you can get this last screw out of place. And just like that, put it aside, and now you can take this whole cover off. Pretty easy. Just like that. Put that aside. Now you got the whole area to work on. And of course, while you're down here, take a look at everything. You know, take your time. It's your vehicle. Check, you know, CV joints and the boots, everything else. Make sure the rubber parts especially, there's no damages, no leak, anything like that. Like we did with the other one, we're going to see how much fluid we drain out of that engine, out of the radiator and the coolant itself. Again, from the inverter, we took 1 quart and 14 ounces on there. On here, we'll see how much is in. And you don't have to be exact or anything like that. The reason I say it is because remember, when you get on level ground, you're going to check the fluid level and make sure it's at the right level. That's all. So first thing is right there, 1 quart so far. That's 2 right there. screw right there. And there is going to 4 quarts. A little over 4 quarts took out of the radiator and the coolant, engine coolant. To be exact, approximately, there it is. So again, not much, maybe 1 ounce. 4 quarts, 1 ounce. And that is it.